We'll call June 17th meeting of the Airport Commission to order. Roll call.
Neil Johnson,
Here.
Greg Collier, Andrew Barker, Joel Gardner,
Present.
Steve Smith,
Here.
Bill Schoonover,
Here.
Micah Thomason,
Here.
Rose Lawrence,
Good roll those guys. Good. Approval of the minutes. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Second, we approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Oh, we got one.
Oh, Andrew snuck
I
in.
wasn't eyeing the opposal, I was eyeing the approval.
I didn't know here. I missed that.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, I think Bill Schoonover has a presentation he'd like to make before we get very far.
Okay,
Rose, if you'll step to the podium. Now we do limit comments to 5 minutes, so we
Wait a minute,
want
I
you
gotta
to.
get my notes out here.
But we, on behalf of the Airport Commission and the city of Springdale, sincerely appreciate
Oh,
years of support
thank you.
that you give.
we can't hear you, Bill.
It means the world to all of us to have had Rose here and the support that she's given us and our city. So in recognition of that, we'd like to present
Aw.
you just a little bit of a
Thank
going
you.
away gift.
Thank
And
you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I appreciate it.
And again, the floor is yours.
And the floor is mine. Okay, I don't do this well, so I have worked with you guys since '97. And I can't tell you how much of a pleasure it's been to learn and grow and meet all of you and just have a great time. Thank you for your support and your friendship. And I think I'm going to have a great retirement, at least I'm planning on it. But it's here already, and so tomorrow's my last day. And so just letting everybody know I appreciate every one of you too. And thank you for this. It was really sweet.
Thank you, but you just answered a question I had.
What's that?
I couldn't remember a meeting without you, and I came on in '98.
Yeah.
I
I started in April of '97 upstairs, and I took it over then.
I was
Yeah.
trying to remember, if you will. From my standpoint, there was none.
Garvin, was it Garvin Martini?
Teeny.
Yeah. So he was one
Bob
of the ones that was
Collins.
there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was fun. But thank you all very
Thank
much.
you.
I appreciate each one of you.
Anybody else that want to say anything to Rose?
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Bill. Audience. Anybody here? If not,
I guess I have a comment or a question. Can I ask a question? Hi, my name's Gary O'Neill. I'm a flight instructor at Springdale Airport. I was born and raised here in Springdale, in case you guys don't know me. I've been teaching for over 25 years. I got my license after I broke my back in the Persian Gulf War, and I started flying full-time. Back and forth to Tulsa. I went to Spartan School of Aeronautics, got a degree in aviation, my instructor's license, commercial, instrument, and all that. And I don't charge for ground school. I don't get paid to teach most of the time, but people have started asking me why they didn't know about Northwest Arkansas Flying Club, and I really don't have an answer for them. So I'd like to ask a question. If we can advertise inside the terminal, do we have to have an office there?
you'll have to update me on the flying club.
Okay, it's a Northwest Club. We started over 2 years ago as a Masonic organization. We started at the lodge in Fayetteville, and we teach all kinds of people, family members. There's also the Rainbow Girls, the Demolay, the Order of Eastern Star. We teach anybody, and it's been around for 2 or 3 years now. We've got 3 airplanes at Springdale Airport. Just since I've been there, we've spent over $20,000 at Sam's maintenance across the way there. They used to be on the west side, now they're on the east side. $10,000 in parts and supplies at Tommy Lee's Air Adventure, and just this year alone, we spent $4,200 on hangar fees. I know you guys get some of that tax money back on the other places that we spend our money at the airport.
The only problem is he doesn't have a business license.
That's the
You
latest
can't-
thing that we've heard.
You can't operate a business at the airport without a license. I've told him this and told him this.
I never heard this
You
until
can't-
2 months ago.
You can't advertise, put up a business sign without a business license.
First, you said you had to have an office in the terminal. Now
You
it's
have
the
to have an
business
office,
license. Every time we
period.
jump over a
They have to
hurdle.
inspect your office to have a business license.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Gary, I told you that.
No, you
And then
didn't.
She rented the last office, you go,
No,
I can't
you-
afford that.
You didn't.
I did, it's in your text.
Show me. I dare you.
Okay, since this is all new to us,
Okay.
we don't act on anything that's brought.
Well, what is the regulation for advertising? You just have to have a business license? I'll go get one today.
Okay, the way we have, the system we have, James and Laura are the airport manager.
Okay. I understand that. I'm fine, but
They understand what the rules are. You will need to adhere to their instruction.
okay.
We
He
will-
said that I couldn't even put a sign out by the street at the curb. Hey, I couldn't advertise anywhere on the airport facility, is what James told me. I've got it, I can show you.
I know what I told you.
Okay, I can't put a sign out by the
cannot.
curb. Okay, that's what he said.
You will need to adhere to James and Laura's instruction.
Okay.
And we don't get involved.
I have been. Okay, I've not advertised as he told me I couldn't. I took it as his word was the truth, and so I have not.
James, what are the steps if he wanted to do this? Can you just tell me the steps that he would need to take?
He just has to go to the city clerk's office
I'll
and
do
file
it.
for a business license.
So as I understand, like my business license that I do, there is a fee. I think it's like $25, and then for each employee, there's an additional $2.50. So if you have 2 employees, you're looking at less than $30 for
I'll
a
do it.
business license. And then that would be posted in your business, but in this world, we all don't have storefront brick and mortar. So he just needs to have that license. At that point, he has a business that's recognized, and then we can talk to him about where we would advertise and how that would work.
Correct.
I could see that, you can't put a sign in front of my office
Oh,
for
no.
it, right?
No, I just
So-
wanted to put a flyer up inside where people would see it
Yeah.
walking through the terminal, and they said I couldn't do that.
Whatever the rules are with James, I don't know those rules, but I could certainly see where, Walmart's not gonna let you put a sign out in front of their location either.
Sure.
So if you had an office, it's obvious, we have a space there that's like part of that rent that you would have.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have an office, then there's different rules for that. So it sounds like it's a $30 fix, and
Okay.
then you can move to the next step. And then the rest is he can put flyers up.
Right, then it's all up to code. As long as the buildings department approves the way he wants to put his signs, there's no problem with that.
What building department?
Here, the city of Springdale has, just to keep it from looking like it's signs everywhere, there are rules,
I
like
just want to
how
put one
far,
sign.
how far off of a road it can be, how long it can be there for. There's just rules
Okay.
there. I don't even believe there's fees. There's just rules and codes to make sure that our city continues to be the front that we want it to be for our homes, right?
Right.
So it's just a matter of having that license and then following those codes. The building department, I think, is moved. They're no longer in this building.
No, they're on the other side of Emma.
Yeah, so it'd be a simple matter of going up the stairs, filling out the application. I suspect they would hand it to you right
Okay.
then, and then you could go to the building department and get a list of those rules. I'm sure it's all a printed page, and
Okay.
then,
What about the marquee out in front where the sign is? They've
So-
got 8 posts there. 2 of them are duplicates, or one of the businesses not even there anymore.
Well, and that's-
it took 3 months to get an answer. She just told me this week that I couldn't put a sign on the marquee.
okay, so that's the point I was making about that you can't, there's empty spaces on the sign in front of my office too, but your office isn't in there. Those are
Oh.
paid for as part of your rent. So
Right.
I suspect if you were to lease space within the terminal, then by all means, you would have one of
There
those
isn't any
spaces.
space. Is there any space in the terminal that I can rent?
Again, let me just go there.
I've tried that.
You're actually talking about 2 things.
Right.
Number, what do you have to do to qualify? The other thing you got to deal with is James and Laura are over that facility. And unless it's just real egregious, we very seldom ever hear of anything going on there. So what they would tell you would be final as to what you could do. If they feel like there's a question there, they'll bring it to us. and
Okay.
we'll-
All right.
And
Yeah.
do-
I don't think that they've ever brought this to your attention before. I think I'm the first
Maybe it
one.
didn't, maybe it didn't need to.
Okay.
At this point, because apparently he gave you the instruction and you didn't adhere to it.
No, he said it was up to Laura as to.
I'm not, I don't want to get into
Okay.
argument. I'm just telling you what the situation is.
I've just been
So-
getting the runaround for 3 months, almost 3 years, really, about putting something up inside the terminal. And now, this year, they start saying about this business license. First time I've heard of it.
You have to have a license to run any kind of business in Springdale, in any city. How do you not hear of that?
I'm teaching, but I don't always charge. Very
That- I don't know
rarely
if
do
that-
I
I don't know
charge.
if that's
So I'm
the
doing it
point,
for
though.
free out of my own pocket.
I'm gonna stop this right here.
Okay.
We don't come here to, settle issues like this, so.
Sounds like you know the process, so the next step, so.
Okay, yes, I will. I'll go get a business license, and as I had said before, I was kind of holding back on that because they said that I could get a license and get a marquee, and then they said I couldn't. Every time I jumped through
No,
the
that's
hoops-
that's not the way it went.
I can show you text
I also have
differently.
text messages, Gary.
I got the same ones you got.
I know you do, so I don't know what you're gonna show that I haven't seen.
You didn't answer me till this week. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be confrontational. I meant to come here and be nice because I want to be the nice person. But I've been accused of parking over by ARH.
I think we've heard enough. Okay, moving right along, is Ernest, okay. Daniel?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to say just first off, I know she's gone now, but to Rose, Summit is very thankful for the work she's done, especially me, helping me whenever I transitioned into my role, and congratulations on her retirement. I hope she enjoys it. Looking back at May compared to April, so May was a very good month for us. Our jet sales were up 28% over April. We sold a total of 40,690 gallons of Jet A. Our avgas increased only 4%, but it did increase to 6,900 gallons even. So with the single engine piston, all of the avgas sales, we're seeing a very consistent market. A lot of the guys are consistently flying, just like they were in April whenever I mentioned they were starting to really get out more, spend more time outside. The good weather in May was very helpful. And so far this month, the last couple of weeks, or at least since it stopped raining, has been very nice for a lot of the local guys to get back out. The turbine traffic, charter business is up. Talking to Mark, he's been going and going. We've had a lot of net jets in and out for various reasons, whether it's for corporate travel or for vacations. Just kind of a mix of different reasons people are getting out, and a lot of people coming in for the games. One thing I noticed I'd like to point out is that we are getting a lot of traffic for the games coming in, especially the basketball recently was really attractive for people coming into the area, choosing to come to us versus Fayetteville. That was really nice to see. We have a lot of incentives that we like to push. We've got discounts for the restaurant upstairs that we try to hand out half off the entrees to any pilot and some of the passengers who walk in, and we've got free GPUs on game days. As long as Arkansas is playing, the GPU's on us, and that's really paying off and looking good for us. And that's all I have. Everything's rolling along pretty well with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ernest isn't here to give us a report today, but they're working on all of our delinquent rents and everything. Operations, Laura?
Yeah, I think
I'd like to ask you, on the front end, how's the restaurant doing?
he's doing good. He says that every day he seems to get a little bit more busy. And the Tuesday through Saturday is better because he was starting to do Saturdays anyways. And so having Mondays off, I don't think it's been a problem with him being closed on Sunday and Monday.
Couple, 3 times, and I told him that there's people, not daily, but every week, ask me, do we have a restaurant at the airport? I don't know if you all are getting the same questions, but somehow or other, the word's not getting out. And I don't know how, if we could even be of any help to do that for him. He's not here today, but
He's done better. He's got a banner hanging out there on that balcony now, so if anyone flies in, they'll see that, and that's helped a lot, I think, too. But he's doing what he can, and James and I try to help him put the word out, and the food's good.
I was asking about a banner down on the corner there at 265 and 412. Did he talk to you about that, James?
Yeah, I sent him to the buildings department to get a permit.
Pardon me?
I sent him to the buildings department to get a permit.
All right, that may be of help. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead. Laura?
I don't remember.
You're on the operation.
Yeah, as far as everything else at the airport, we don't have any projects or anything coming up at the moment, so just the daily maintenance, trying to keep everything going, and it's been real busy, which is nice to see.
Who ramrodded the local tower? Okay, finally got it painted.
What? I couldn't hear you.
I said, who was in charge of overseeing the localizer tower?
Oh, the FAA did that.
Y'all didn't have anything to do with it?
No, they took that project on themselves, and they're going to maintain it, I think, for the next 3 or 4 years. They said keep the paint up on it and stuff.
Usually we've had to paint it, haven't we, James?
Right.
Right.
They had a bunch of deteriorating rotten wood, so they hired somebody to replace all that wood, and then they contracted now for the next few years for them to maintain it.
For them to keep the paint up on it, too.
What
so
about the little building out there? It's getting faded.
That's their building as well,
No,
so.
We can power wash it, and it turns out new again.
okay. Any way to freshen it up?
Huh?
Is there any way to freshen it up? You paint on it. Since the tower is painted, kind of looks,
Right. Well, it's a fiberglass building, so all we gotta do is send our power washer over there, and it'll look brand new again. That's what we did the last time.
okay, sounds good.
There was a couple other paint issues, I think, on some of the hangars, maybe something that, have those been resolved?
Not yet. He's waiting until he gets a little slower period. I guess he's been booked up, so I'm trying to get him back out there. It was one hangar door on hangar 6 that was really bad. It had got, I guess, maybe didn't dry thoroughly before he painted it, so some of that paint had water under it and peeled off. So he came and looked at it, and he said as soon as he gets a little bit of downtime, he'd be back out, and he thought this month, so.
He will. He's reparable. Sounds good. Any other questions for Laura? Wyman? And that, I'm sure we're gonna be talking about that with Garver. So if you wanna come on up and we'll tie these two together.
Oops. Perfect. Was that about the hangar, Wyman? We had trouble hearing you in the back. But the hangar? Okay. So I'll just give my update on the hangar real quick as soon as I can get this page turned. But like I kind of said last time, we've separated into 2 separate projects. We have the site development portion of the project and the hangar construction portion of the project. So the site development portion, as you guys remember, it was partially funded through the state, the ADA, with airport matching funds. We expect this to start construction soon. I actually have the contracts here today for Wyman to execute them. So we probably expect to see something in the next month or 2 on that. And that's going to be a 75 calendar day construction time on the site work portion of that. And for the hangar construction portion of the project, so that'll just be the hangar, the foundation, that building itself. That project received $700,000 from the city in May. And so from that point, we started designing and getting a package ready to bid. And so through the last few weeks or so, we've been meeting with the planning department and Patsy over there, talking about the facade and some of the landscaping requirements that you guys remember us discussing in December. We actually had good news from them. So we came to an agreement that we will not be required to construct an upgraded facade or do any additional landscaping to the project if we agree to a bill of assurance a bill of assurance is a guarantee that after 2 years, if another hangar is not constructed in front of the building, then we will be required to construct the facade or the additional landscaping. So essentially, there's 2 years of leeway that they've allowed there. And luckily, the bill of assurance doesn't require any money to be set aside now. It's just agreeing to pay that amount whenever the time comes, essentially. And so after that discussion with the planning department, we'll move on to the planning commission this month, and it'll be at their meeting. But from our discussion there, they don't foresee any issues at the planning commission meeting. But I'll be sure to give a report on that next month. However, we still went ahead and sent the project out to bid. So this past Sunday was the first day it was in the newspaper. It'll run in the newspaper this Sunday, next Sunday, and we will open bids July 13th, which
Is that on the building?
Yes, sir. That'll be on the hangar building itself, correct?
Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
How long do we have to decide on a go or no go on the bid on the hangar?
So the bids are good for 120 days. So we have 120 days to decide on that. But I know the state put a
90 days?
the 90-day requirement on that.
The reason I'm asking that, I just received a bid on a red iron building, and it's almost 3 times what it was last year.
That's correct.
And it's, this is something that we're gonna be faced with. Also, this week, there was rumors out that lumber prices have fallen 40% just in the last month. That's lumber, that's not the steel. This stuff, I don't think can stay up at this record highs. And my point is, before we sign that agreement to build the hangar on that bid, how much time would we have to renegotiate or go back on it? Or is there a provision in there that we can renegotiate, I guess? My
You
question.
want to take this one?
Yeah, so state statutes allow you to negotiate with the low bidder for 120 days. The time that bid's good, at that point, he could just forfeit his bid and say, I'm done, I'm moving on. So you've got 120 days there. You could either accept the bid or negotiate.
That being said, let's go back. Let's go back to the 90 days and the 120 days. We could go ahead and get the slab in, and it would be considered the start of the building.
That's right. I mean, honestly, we're considering APAC even getting out there and getting the site work going. They're going to be in that area too. We will have started the work. Yeah.
Let's clarify that.
Mm-hmm.
So that gets us through the 90 days to give us time to negotiate bids if we need down the road, right? And still be within the
Correct.
time limit.
Yeah.
I think that's something we need to track and keep a hard look at, because it can't stay up there like that. I mean, everybody I'm talking to in the business is saying, no, we're backing off. And I'm sure that's pretty well across the board.
Yeah, I mean, we did think for the last month, for the first time in 3 months, steel was flat as opposed to going up 100%. But we would love to see it come back down the curve a little bit too. I think for sure we're looking at a pretty long procurement time for the building itself. Like you said, we get the slab in, but we're here in 4 to 6 months just to get steel on a job site right now.
Yeah. Okay. That should work in our favor. Sorry about it.
No worries. I just had a few more things. So by the next meeting, we should have bids ready to review with you guys. So we should know about what it's going to cost, and we can have that, or we can continue this discussion then. And that's all I have for you on the hangar. Any other questions about the hangar project? Awesome.
Any questions from Garver?
Cool. Do you want me to give a brief update on the taxiway extension project, the FAA project?
Yes.
Cool. Perfect. So just as a reminder, that's 100% funded through the FAA. It's in the design phase right now. If you remember last time, we were kind of in a holding pattern, waiting for comments from the FAA about how to move forward. So we actually heard back from them with good news that they're okay with everything that we were proposing. And so here in the next month, we're going to get kicked back up on the final design. In the final design of this project will be a lot of coordination with water and sewer, with Springdale Water, but we still expect to be able to have this project ready to go this year and ready for construction in 2022. So no issues with that project. Any questions about the East Taxiway? Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you. Any old business?
Laura, are there still a solid waiting list? Has been any fallout, any further additions on our hangar waiting list?
Yeah, I get 1 to 2, 3 people every week. I think I'm at 67 or 68 right now. And I get some that say just don't bother putting me on it because it looks like it's going to be a while. But everywhere around here is full. We're full. I have everything full except for a couple of storage units out there, and that's it.
Would it be, who has the plans for that building that was started over there that went bankrupt?
Oh, Jeff Mann's building?
Planning might have a set.
We'd have it in the building inspector's office, wouldn't we?
I heard he had a lot of the pieces still at his house, so all we have is just the large pieces of red iron. We have none of the cross members or anything.
Lab, haven't you?
Yeah, we got the slab and the red iron that's standing, and there's some other red iron out at the site, and we have some over at the Public Works site. And then what I heard was that he has a trailer load with the roof pieces at his house somewhere. The entire roof. Jeff Mann does.
But it hadn't it hasn't been unloaded over there.
No.
But then it would have a different look about it, or it wouldn't be subject to what steel that's on the ground.
Right.
My point is, it's unsightly there. Right now, we either need to take down that standing red iron, or we need to finish that hangar some way. We need to see if we can find
It's not ours to finish yet.
No, the bankruptcy's.
It's not ours to finish yet, though.
It's on our lot. And it was abandoned. He went bankrupt. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not no way a legal expert, but I do know this, that if the bankruptcy occurs and there's material laying on the ground, it belongs to that right there. I've had that experience through the years in the construction business, but yeah, it's part of it. And we've not claimed damages, but we could. And we've not taken it that way. It's just he abandoned it there, and you heard the city attorney say, yes, that belongs to the airport. So we would have to let him sign off on everything and advise us, but that's, at least we had that word enough to know that we should be planning in that direction, I believe. He can't come get that slab. That's
No.
And there's anchor bolts there and everything else, so that's the way I've understood it in the past. And, but anyway, that's for somebody else to argue, but understanding. That being said, that's all the old business I've got.
I can see if we can get a quote and see what it would cost to finish it.
You can buy that sheeting anywhere right now. It's not affected so much as the red iron.
Right.
So, any more old business? Comments from the commissioners? Okay, we'll adjourn.